the devil can perform genuine miracles. Because we know, first of all, if Christ at his second coming is walking around on the earth, that's not Christ. Because the Bible tells us clearly, when he comes the second time, he stays in the air. That's where we join him. So if someone is walking on the earth saying, I'm Jesus, even though he heals my cancer and my blindness and my lameness, that is of the devil.
My question is, I just wonder what you would say to someone in another church, someone who's really honestly wrapped up in kind of like that, the faith healing type of stuff.
Faith healing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then second part of my question is, do you ever think we'll get to that point, like in the Acts of the Apostles, we'll be performing miracles and stuff like that?
Okay, all right. It's a fair question. Faith healing is biblical. But you need to understand the devil performs miracles too. And in these last days, at any time, the ultimate test of the presence of God is not a miracle. It is truth. Satan, go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 quickly. 2 Thessalonians, I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you very much. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. In this chapter, we're reading about the Antichrist. He's called the man of sin, the son of perdition, in verse 3. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And Paul says, remember ye not that I was with you, I told you these things. Now in verse 9, speaking of this same Antichrist, he said, whose coming is after the power of, verse 9 of 2 Thessalonians 2, you can read with me. Whose coming is after the power of Satan, with all signs and lying wonders. Now, the wonders are real, but they're for the purpose of deception. That's why they're called lying wonders. The devil can perform genuine miracles. And we know from great controversy in the last days, he'll come appearing as Christ and will heal the sick. On the basis of that, he'll ask people to trust him. It's difficult not to trust someone who has just healed your sickness. That is why we must have a trust in thus saith the Lord. Amen. Are you with me? Amen. Because we know, first of all, if Christ at his second coming is walking around on the earth, that's not Christ. Because the Bible tells us clearly, when he comes the second time, he stays in the air. That's where we join him. So if someone is walking on the earth saying, I'm Jesus, even though he heals my cancer and my blindness and my lameness, that is of the devil. And so healing, yes, is of God, but it must be accompanied by truth. And so when Jesus healed the man at the pool of Bethesda, in John 5:14, he said, behold, thou art made whole, sin no more. Stop violating the law. When the woman in adultery was taken, John 8, Jesus said, go and sin no more. Go and stop breaking the law, because sin produces sickness. So while there is healing, yes, but healing and miracles are no absolute proof that God is present. The only proof is thus saith the Lord. And since Jesus said there is no truth in Satan, he does not bring truth. I'll say something else about healing. People want quick miracles that teach no lessons. But today, with all the information we have at Eloites Council, we are to provide healing that teaches lessons that will save the soul, not just the body. The soul, because you can go to hell perfectly healthy, normal blood pressure, lost. So there is something else. The more healthy you are, the more you can sin effectively. So God takes a risk sometimes by healing people. You become more effective. You have more energy to sin. God wants you to have energy to obey him. So miracles are, I was in some country preaching. I saw a church. It's called Come and Get Your Miracle Church. Now, who wouldn't go to that church? Come and get your miracle church. And people flock to churches for miracles, not for Christ. I said this morning, the multitude followed Christ across the lake for fish and bread, not for Christ.